Ugandi was an independent county between the east coast of Lake Võrtsjärv and west coast of Lake Pskov, bordered by Vaiga, Mõhu, Nurmekund, Sakala, Tālava, and the Principality of Pskov. Ugandi had an area of approximately 3,000 hides. Ugandi corresponded roughly to the present Estonia's territory of Võru County, Põlva County and half of Tartu County and Valga County, as well as Petseri County. The county was first mentioned in print by Henry of Livonia after the Northern Crusades. It became Bishopric of Dorpat. In Latvian, Livonia is still the modern national name for Estonia. The name Ugandi is derived by associating Ugania with the name of Ugandi hill near Otepää. An alternate theory proposes that the name Ugania could have been derived from the Slavic language word Ug, meaning south. The power center of Ugandi is believed to have been in the fortified stronghold of Odenpää in present-day Livonia hill in the town of Otepää. The hill is indeed shaped like a head of a bear, thought to have been a holy animal for Uganians. Another important Uganian stronghold was Tartu by the river Imajogi. It was erected around 600 AD on the east side of Tum Hill in what is today Tartu. Due to its location, Ugandi always bore the brunt of East Slavs' attacks against Judes, as they called Finnic peoples around the northeastern boundaries. History. In 1030 the town of Tartu in Ugandi was conquered by Kievan Prince Yaroslav I the Wise, who forced the local people to pay annual tribute. As well, he established his own fort there and named it Yuryev. Kievan rule of Tartu may have lasted 30 years until 1061, when, according to Old East Slavic chronicles, Tartu's Yuryev was burned down by Sosolsa Supelitsa. In modern Estonian literature, the province of Ugania is called Uganda. In Latvian, the country of Estonia is still called Estonia after Uganians, their ancient, warlike neighbors. In Estonian folklore, Uganians are enemy warriors and robbers. For example, a folk song from Võrtsjärv calls for speeding up the harvest work because Uganians might attack. Ugalane has also been used as a disparaging word for an unsophisticated country person. Rulers of Novgorod Republic and Principality of Pskov made frequent raids against Uganians in the 12th century but never succeeded to subjugate them. Fort Bear's Head was conquered in 1116 and 1193, Tharbata in 1134 and 1192. Uganians themselves made several raids against Pskov. At the beginning of the 13th century, a new powerful enemy appeared. German crusaders had established a foothold at the mouth of the Dorpat River and started to expand and christen local tribes. The Uganians' southern neighbors, the Latgalians, saw the crusaders as potential allies against the traditional adversaries. The Uganians wanted to continue the truce with the new neighbors, but the crusaders had a list of preconditions. They demanded that the Uganians pay reparation for an old incident. Many years ago the Uganians, upon the advice of the Livonians, had robbed a caravan of German merchants by the Dorpat River. In 1207 the Crusaders sent a priest called Alibrand to Ugania to demand compensation, but did not receive an answer. Next year the Lets and Teutonic Knights sent a new delegation to Ugania and returned with Uganian envoys. Uganians were offered eternal peace if they accept Christianity and return everything they had robbed from Germans and Lets. Uganians refused and left, threatening the Lets with very sharp lances. The Crusaders and Lets went to war against Uganians. They burned Odenpää and returned with captives and booty. Uganians and Sakalians retaliated, raided territories of the Lets and burned the worst enemies alive. The Livonians and the Bishop of Riga wanted peace and sent the priest Alibrand to Odenpää to negotiate. Alibrand used the gathering of Uganians to preach the Christianity to them. Some pagan Uganians wanted to kill him because of his preaching, but his status as the messenger of the bishop protected him. Uganians made peace with the Bishop of Riga, the leader of the Livonian crusade. In 1210 the Novgorodian Prince Mstislav the Bold and his brother Vladimir the Prince of Polotsk sent an army against Uganians. They besieged Odenpay and fought there for 8 days. Defenders of the fort suffered a shortage of food and water and were forced to ask for peace. Uganians had to accept Orthodox baptism and pay a tribute of 400 Nogata marks. The same summer Uganians of Odenpay surrendered to Crusader commander Berthold of Wenden. Uganians continued to raid Lettish territories. Wars between Uganians and Lets lasted the whole decade. The elders of Uganians and Lets had deep personal feuds. When Uganians captured Talavaldos of Trikata in 1215 and burned him alive, his sons burned alive all Uganian men they could catch to avenge. They also tortured Uganians to force them to show hiding places in the woods. When all Uganian provinces were burnt down, the people still alive sent messengers to Riga, asking for peace and promised to receive baptism. They told that all who had been involved in the robbery of German merchants had already been killed. The priests Otto and Peter Kakuvalda were sent to baptize them. Hearing about that, Prince Vladimir of Pskov attacked Uganians. Uganians and German crusaders fortified Odenpay and avenged Russians, raiding lands of Pskov and Novgorod. After that, Uganians went with crusaders, Livonians and Lets against Estonian pagan provinces Gera and Livonia. Prince Vladimir of Pskov sent messengers through all of Estonia to besiege Germans and Uganians at Odenpay. Harians and Isalians came and even already baptized Sakalians. While troops of 20,000 of Novgorodians and Isalians attacked Odenpay, Uganians alongside with crusaders made raids against Novgorod, Voronians and Voshians. In 1220 Uganians rebelled against the Germans. Sakalians sent bloody swords with which they had killed Germans to Uganians of Tharbata and Odenpay. In Tharbata they decided by lot whether to sacrifice to the gods an ox of the priest Hartwig, who was equally fat. Luckily for the priest, the lot fell upon the ox. Uganians decided to side with Novgorodians. Russian princes of Pskov, Novgorod and Suzdal sent huge troops of 20,000 men to Ugania. The people of Tharbata sent them large gifts and Odenpay welcomed them too. The Russians left Vetseki as the prince to rule Uganians and any other Estonian province around he could gather tax from. In 1224 Crusaders retook all provinces in mainland Estonia. After casting lot, Bishop Herman of Buxhoveden was given rule over Ugania while Sakala was given to the order. Odenpay was happy over the rule of Bishop Herman, but Tharbata was still ruled by Vetseki and his Ruthenians. Later that year, however, Tharbata was conquered and all its Uganian and Ruthenian defenders killed. Bishop Herman started to fortify Odenpay and Tharbata. He chose Tharbata.Dorpat to be his residence. Bishop Herman and his Uganian subjects fought frequently against Novgorod and were defeated by Prince Alexander Nevsky in the battle on Lake Pskov in 1242. Ugania became subsequently known as the Bishopric of Dorpat.